Welcome back. Welcome back, excuse me. Types of data. We sort of covered that in the previous one, but just to carry on a little bit further with that. Essentially, you've got quantitative data, so numerical, measurable, countable, and qualitative data, which is descriptive, interpretive, and it focuses on quality. So with quantitative data, you're going to say ask things like how many, how much, how often, whereas qualitative data tries to explore why and how. And of course, there's no reason why, depending on your research question, you can't have quantitative and qualitative data. You may have collected some numbers, but you want to know what that means. Why? What's the why and how behind those numbers? And that's quite a common outcome. I found these lovely little things on Facebook one day. The person who produced them there is in the top corner, so I'm not claiming them as mine. They're definitely his. And you have a look at these. There's a little example here of how to do quantitative research. The other one's about qualitative research, so some definitions and some more things you can do when you're doing that sort of data collection. You can see there's data, document text analysis, interviews, that sort of stuff. Whereas on the other side, we're looking at collecting data in some physical way. He also has one on the mixed methods research, so you do a bit of both. And there's a process called action research, which I suppose my PhD and master's degrees were action research, because I was basically studying my own impact on my students. And I certainly felt that model, which again is a blend of quantitative and qualitative. But they're nice little posters to have a look at, and I might actually try and print them up and put them in the classroom. So, qualitative data describes qualities or characteristics rather than numerical measurements. And many of you are going to be working in this field where you want to interview people, observe people, make notes. You might be taking videos and pictures of events or characteristics. You might even have built things. It's very different to just getting numbers. And quantitative data is simply things like age, height, weight, income, how high did the plant grow, that sort of stuff. So when do you use them? Well, if you've got a question like, what are the most effective strategies for reducing food waste in restaurants? It's probably going to produce numbers, so quantitative. Whereas, what are the differences in lifestyle, health and sustainability between car-centric cities and 15-minute cities? So as the American sort of example, you're going to use surveys and observations. But if you're looking at what impact could planting native species around a school have on local biodiversity and student well-being, you're probably likely to do a bit of both. You're going to need to observe people, but you want to think about how much has the physical space changed. So, in summary, the type of data you require really relates directly to your research question, which is why we keep banging on about it. It's really important to get it right. Qualitative, descriptive, interpretive, quantitative numbers, and of course you can use both.